so get a blanket for the end relaxation. As usual, you can use that at the start for a little prop for the beginning. So just coming to find a comfortable seat on your sacred space. So again, very good to always try to set up in your home as much as possible a good space with enough room around, maybe taking off any jewelry, especially maybe anything, watches or bracelets that can be annoying for the wrists, any necklace that might be a bit too loose. For the practice, we might go maybe today with a little bit more movement, a little bit more activation of the energy within the body, as usual, really focusing on the breath. You do what you can, any movement, you don't have to go too deep into it. We'll start building onto the practice nice and slow, and whenever you find this is enough for you, then that's okay, just don't go any further. But again, try to keep the breath slow, soft and deep. Whilst I talk, you can just start with any movement in the wrists. It's a good idea to get the wrist warmed up. In Vinyasa, we tend to do a lot of what we call Vinyasas, where we go through Chaturanga, plank, through the Vinyasa to down dog. So there's a lot of movement in the wrists. Good idea to warm them up, so you can just, whatever movement you feel good, rotating the wrists, anything like that. Stretching into the forearms. So let's try maybe today to work a little bit more with Shiva and Shakti as we breathe deeply in through the nose, out through the nose. So Shiva and Shakti, these are the two main energies that we have in the body or outside of the body. So Shakti is the feminine energy that resides at the perineum region. So this is the energy of creation and destruction. We'll try to flow through with that. It brings strength and balance. And Shiva is the pure consciousness which transcends all the worldly desires and matter. So we go from the denser matter from the earth to that pure consciousness. So see if you can really feel that working maybe with the breath. So as usual, as you take a deep inhale, you can now maybe relax for a moment. Inhaling in through the nose, try to feel the breath as you start to relax, to deepen all the way down to your belly, lower abdomen, pelvic floor. So this is where you find Shakti, and you let it flow back up in an attempt for Shakti to meet with Shiva. This is the actual yoga, the union. So letting the breath rise up. A few breaths like this just to connect the breath to the body. The breath also helps to tell you much about the physical body, but also mental, emotional body. You might notice when you're stressed, you have a bit of a short breath, shallow breath, not breathing slow, soft and deep. So this goes with all the emotions that goes with stress, maybe anger, frustration. When you're quite peaceful and happy, breath is slow, soft and deep, just flows very easily. So that's what we try to do, that's what we come on our mats to practice. Some better states of mind. And today we do that very much through working the body. We'll open up with our traditional Om chant, really working with the breath and start to get that breath deep within. Find really that connection with the breath that you will keep throughout the practice as we start moving. So as usual, breathing deeply in through the nose all the way down to the abdomen, and as you exhale, let this energy rise all the way up as you open the mouth, chanting Om through the heart to the throat. Then when you get to the throat, you can start to really close your mouth so that you get into vibrating the lips, vibrating into the head, creating that M sound, and see if you can really get to feel the energy rise all the way up to the crown of the head, and maybe beyond to open to the pure consciousness of Shiva. You can take the Gyan Mudra, index and thumb together, hands relaxed, exhaling the air out the nostrils. We're getting ready, taking a deep inhale in through the nose for 3 Oms. Enjoying that peace in the mind for a moment. Still with your eyes closed, nice and gentle, you can bring your hands in the Anjali Mudra, palms together in front of your heart, thumbs touching your sternum. Maybe setting an intention for your practice this morning. Might be something that you can also take off the mat for the day or maybe for the whole week. Whether it's to feel more in your body, maybe have more emotional balance as things start to reopen, maybe still a little bit shaky, or maybe just find more flexibility, more health, whatever it might be. As I mentioned before, we practice on the mat to find betterment in our lives. So this is not separate. What we practice on the mat, we take it off the mat into our lives. Nice and slow, you can open your eyes. And we'll start on our all fours, so coming onto your hands and knees, just to get a little bit of movement. So you can start with the spine, still connected to the breath, inhaling, looking up, exhaling, looking down, rounding the spine. So in through the nose, out through the nose, stay connected to the breath, and actually even if you can get the movement to be led by the breath. So the breath should initiate your movement. You should really feel it in your belly, your torso. As you inhale, you expand. As you exhale, you contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. See if you can really start pushing your hands into the floor. You can already have your hands in position for your down dog. So index fingers pointing forward, parallel to each other. Fingers spread out nice and wide. We'll get a little bit more into the wrists. So coming back to neutral position. And now as you inhale, see if you can start keeping your arms nice and straight, coming slightly forward. So we're getting into the wrists, so pay attention, maybe a little bit tricky this one, so only go as far as comfortable, trying to keep the heel of the hands in contact with the floor. Exhaling, you can stretch back, so see if you can feel some stretch into your shoulders, stretching the hips as far as possible towards your heels. Inhaling, coming back. Exhale. Inhale, one last one. Exhale, coming back to center. And you can turn your fingertips inwards towards each other. And we'll go side to side. Again, see if you can keep your heel, the heel of the hands in contact with the floor as much as possible. Keeping your arms nice and straight as much as you can. Inhaling to center. Exhaling to the side. And then you can turn your hands back to normal, turning maybe just one hand, fingers pointing towards your knees. If you can do both hands at a time, otherwise, if this is too much, you can just do one at a time. And we'll do the same thing, see if you can stretch back, again keeping the heel of the hands together, coming slightly forward. Exhale, go back. Inhale, trying to flow with the breath. You're turning your hands outwards. Again, same thing, a little bit of movement. Maybe see if you can have the hips to follow slightly. One more. And then pay attention again for this one, a little bit tricky. You're going to bring the back of the hands on the floor. Again, if you feel this is a little bit too much, you don't have enough control with the abdominals, you just do one side at a time. Otherwise, if you can do both sides, again, see if you can keep your arms as straight as possible. And then as you exhale, see if you can come down, nose to touch the floor. Inhale, protract your shoulders, see if you can push from the back of your hands, shoulder blades up to the sky together. Exhale. If you're just doing one hand, you can just do this and you can change. Otherwise, see if you can really touch your nose and reach your shoulder blades up to the sky. And then slowly release. You can sit on your heels and maybe shake your hands any way you feel this is good. One good way is to get hold of your, just below the wrists with your index and thumb, and just really keep the hand as loose as possible, and you really shake it so you're holding that wrist joint here just from the top of the bottom of the forearm, making your wrists nice and loose. And this is a good way of really loosening the wrists before we get into something a bit more serious. So we get back onto our fours, knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders, nice and stable. Inhaling, right leg back, so we start reactivating into the core. See if you can drop your hips, so we have a tendency to bring the hip up, so see if you can really bring your hip down as much as possible, so hips are parallel, and you reach your heel back, extending the leg, trying to keep your spine nice and flat. And then you can inhale your left arm forward, so really try to extend from your right heel to your left fingers, feeling that energy across the back of the body. Slowly releasing, and we switch sides. Inhaling, stretching your left leg, right arm. pointing the toes. Again, see if you can drop that hip down as much as possible. We'll go for 2 more. You release. Inhale. See if you can keep your back as flat as possible. Activating the core, so you're going to be pushing your navel in slightly. You release. Inhale. One more round. And then you release. You can tuck your toes under, walking your hand forward. Again, making sure that you have proper alignment with your hands, so index fingers parallel to each other, pointing forward. And you can push into your feet, lifting your knees, coming up into your down dog. So for your down dog, you can bend your knees at the start, making it nice and easy, just getting some movement to warm up, soft bend into your knees, maybe moving your hips from side to side, but you really want to press onto your index and thumb, so nice and strong into your arms, rolling your forearms more so inwards, so you should be almost feeling like you can lift your pinky finger and you lengthen from your index through the arms, through the shoulders, all the way to the hips. So what's important here, doesn't matter how straight your legs are, it will come with time, so be patient. The practice of yoga is about becoming patient about things, so bending into your knees, and you really want to send your hips back and up, so this will help to flatten the back over time, nice and slow. You're going to start walking forward, so you can take little steps, working all the way between your hands to the top of your mat, feet together, nice and slow. As you inhale, you can start to roll your spine up vertebrae by vertebrae, reaching all the way up, hands together. As you exhale, you release. Inhale, reaching your arms up. You can keep your hands together, nice and slow. As you exhale, leaning to the right, nice and gentle. Inhale to center, exhale to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, folding forward. Fingertips to the floor, bending the knees as much as needed. As you inhale, flat back, looking forward. Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, you fold all the way down, forehead towards your shins, stepping your right leg back. Drop your knee, point your toes. Inhale, look up, so see if you can really bring your hips down towards the floor. As you exhale, you release. Plant your hands, left knee to meet the right. Inhaling, right leg back, left arm. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your knee to touch your elbow, rounding into the spine, activating your core. Inhale, lengthen across the body. Keep your toes pointing down. Exhale. Inhale. We go for 3, so just one more, working with breath. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, you release. Tuck your toes under. Stretch back. Down dog. Maybe starting to straighten your legs a little bit more. See if you can start to work your heels towards the floor, but again, doesn't need to. If you need to keep your knees bent, that's fine. Just do what you can, working your hips back and up. As you inhale, stretching your right leg up. See if you can keep your hips nice and squared. Exhaling, you step forward right between your hands. Fingertips align with your front heel, keeping the back leg straight, and see if you can send your right knee forward as long at the same time as your heart. So reaching forward, dropping your hips, back leg is as straight as possible. And as you exhale, looking down, you step forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift, lengthening into the legs, the spine. If this is too much, you can always bring your hands on your shins. As you exhale, folding forward, forehead to shins. Inhale, rise up. Hands together, and again, as you exhale, you can lean to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale. exhale, folding forward. Nice and easy, just do what you can. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, always listening to the body. Left leg back. Drop your knee, point your toes, look up. Slowly releasing, planting your hands. Right knee to step back. Inhaling, left leg back, right arm up. Again, as you exhale, curling knee to elbow. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, keep pushing your shoulder blades up to the sky. Inhale, lengthen, last one. Exhale. Inhale, straighten, you release. Plant your hands, now going into chaturanga. Lifting your knees, coming onto the ball of your feet. Nice and strong, so just like we did before, you keep pushing your hands into the floor, reaching your shoulder blades up. If this is too much, you can always bring your knees down. Nice and slow. We're going to start exhaling, coming all the way down. So easy version is to bring your knees down, bending into your elbows, bringing your chest, forehead to the floor, releasing all the way down. Point your toes, Ardha Bhujangasana, lifting your chest using your back muscles, looking forward. As you inhale, exhale, you release. Tuck your toes, stretching back through a child's pose, hips up. So as you work from your child's pose, keep your hips reaching back and up. Keep pressing onto your index fingers, lengthening from the index through the arms, the shoulders, keeping your hips nice and squared. Inhaling, left leg back. Exhale, use your core muscles, just like we did before, knee to chest, stepping forward, aligning your fingertips with your front heel, and you keep reaching back with your right heel, heart forward, left knee forward. So the more you bend into your front knee, the more you're going to bring your hips down, trying to keep that back leg activated. And as you exhale, you release, stepping all the way forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Forehead to shins. Inhale, rising all the way up, hands together. Now we might go a little bit further. If you feel you can bring your left foot behind the right leg, outside of the foot, and then as you exhale, you lean to the right, so you should be feeling a good stretch onto the whole left side of the body. Inhaling, coming back to the center, and we do the same thing with the right leg, so right leg goes behind, outer edges of the feet together, leaning to the left. So if this is too much for you, just do feet together, inhaling back to center, exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift, offering your heart forward. As you exhale, you fold. Stepping back, right leg, drop your knee, point your toes, rising up, reaching your arms up. And as you exhale, opening your arms in cactus position, maybe reaching your heart forward and up. See if you can look up, relax into the shoulder blades, but see if you can keep your elbows up, so arms are in 90-degree angle, cactus position, but just opening across the chest. Nice and slow as you exhale, you release, plant your hands, stepping back, chaturanga. Building up on the Vinyasa if you want to start building up, otherwise you can bring your knees down, lowering all the way down as you exhale. Point your toes, inhale, still maybe baby cobra, or if you feel you can take it for full Bhujangasana, straightening your elbows, relaxing your shoulders, maybe looking up, lower back is relaxed, and as you exhale, slowly releasing, tucking your toes, stretching back. Down dog. Whew. Still breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. So we should start to be warming up a little bit. We're gonna maybe slowly pick up the pace in a moment. For now, for this down dog, maybe soft bend into your knees. See if you can bring your right big toe and second toe to play on your heel, just to give a little bit more of a stretch to the left hamstring. Again, if your heel is not reaching to the floor, that's fine. You're just putting
A bit of pressure there to help, but again, keep reaching your hips back and up, pushing from your index fingers, slowly releasing, and you switch sides. So left big toe and second toe to snuggle around your right heel, right Achilles, just to give a bit of a stretch to that right hamstring, back of the leg. Nice and slow you release. Inhaling, right leg up. Exhale, you step forward, right between your hands. Again, if you need an easy version, you can drop your knee down, otherwise keeping the leg nice and straight. Planting your left hand, and we'll come into twists, inhaling right arm up. So again, see if you can lengthen from that back heel all the way to the crown of the head, reaching up, and see if you can start opening into your chest. So you'll be twisting from your hips, lower ribs, keeping your right knee in. So keep pushing your knee towards your chest, chest towards your knee. Nice and slow, exhale, you release, stepping forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, palms together. And again, you're going to bring your left leg behind, and this time see if you can maybe bring your foot a little bit further, coming onto the outside edge of your foot, bending into your right knee, exhaling to the right. So we're deepening the stretch on the left side, elbows are still straight. Inhale, back to center, and you change. Again, see if you can bring your leg as far as possible onto the outside edge of the foot, bending into your left leg, and see if you can reach to the left with your arms. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold, left leg back. Drop the knee on the toes, reaching your arms up. The exhale, cactus your arms, so really you want to be feeling your shoulder blades go down, relaxing into the back, but keep your elbows shoulder height level, and see if you can think of bringing your hands back so that you really open into the shoulders, the chest, looking up, heart forward and up, feeling that opening at the front, really trying to feel Shiva rising up through the central channel. And as you exhale, you release, hands onto the floor, stepping back, chaturanga, lowering all the way down, knees or just body nice and straight, keeping your elbows in close to the body. Cobra or up dog, looking up. Exhale, stretch back, down dog. Should be getting a little bit warmer. You can bring your toes together into your down dog, maybe a little bit stronger. See how you go. And one thing sometimes I like to do also to stretch into the side of the body. Coming onto your tippy toes a little bit more, so lift your heels and you can start to bring your heels out to one side. Try to keep your hips as squared as possible. Inhaling to center, exhale to the other side, so shoulders shouldn't be moving. You want to be pressing onto your left hand. Inhaling to center, exhale, we'll take one more round. Inhale, exhale, coming back to center. Inhaling, left leg up. Hips are still squared. As you exhale, knee to chest, stepping forward right between your hands. Inhaling, left arm up. Again, you can always bring your back knee down if you want. You want to be keeping your front knee as bent as possible and snug to your right shoulder. So you want the right shoulder to go towards your knee, knee towards your shoulder. So you don't want to let open the knee just yet. We're stretching also into the hip flexor on the right. Nice and slow, you exhale to release, stepping forwards. Taking a big inhale to lengthen your heart forward, lengthen into the back of the legs, and as you exhale, you fold forward. Inhale, rising all the way up, palms together. Exhale, you release. Ooh, good one. So let's get building up onto the practice. Utkatasana, bending into your knees.
keeping your feet nice and flat. See if you can touch the floor with your fingers, reaching your arms up, sinking your hips down. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you fold. Right leg back. Now this time keeping your knee up. We come into a high lunge. Reaching up. Just like we did before, opening your arms. See if you can slightly lean back. So you want to be keeping the energy into the legs. So keeping your hips as squared as possible. Right hip goes forward. So tighten into your inner thighs. Maybe looking up, slight arch into your back. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, you release. Planting your hands. Stretching back. Chaturanga. Going through your vinyasa of your choice. Either bringing your knees down or lowering your body nice and slow. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, stretching back, down dog. Inhaling, right leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Trying to keep the shoulders as squared as possible. Bringing your knee up, opening into that hip. Nice and slow, you release. Right foot to the floor. We take the other side as you inhale. Bend your left knee, open the hip again. Keep pushing your right hand into the floor. Keep dropping your left shoulder blade down. Shoulders squared, but you open into the hips. Bringing your knee up to the sky as much as possible. Left heel towards your right buttocks. Nice and slow. You release. And we're going to come forward as you inhale into Chaturanga. Exhale, lowering, knees to the floor. So we'll build up onto what we've just done. Inhaling your right leg up. Bending into your knees. See if you can bring your heel close to your buttocks. If you can go a bit further and you have a good balance onto your right hand, maybe you can stretch your left arm out to the side and back to get hold of your foot. If you have the hold of your foot, you want to be kicking your foot into your hand so that your knee goes up, slight arch into the back, feeling the stretch into your left shoulder, chest. But see, at the same time, you can square your shoulders and bring your foot up a little bit more. So just like if you wanted to bring the foot into the back of your head or thinking of it, slowly releasing, hands together on the floor, and we'll take the other side. Lifting your left foot, maybe getting hold of it. Again, give it a good kick. Keep the shoulders as squared as possible. See if you can reach your knee up, watch your lower back for this one. Maybe a little bit tricky, so just do what you can as usual. Trying to breathe slowly and deeply in through the nose, out through the nose, and then slowly releasing. Stretching back, down dog. We'll build up a little bit more heat in the body. Coming forward as you inhale, so you want to again have a nice strong foundation on your hands. Nice and slow as you exhale. You can come halfway down, so not touching the floor. Elbows should be about 90-degree angle. And as you inhale, you can push back up. Exhale, stretching back, down dog. Two more like this. Inhale, coming forward. If this is too much, you can always bring your knees down. Otherwise, keep going nice and strong. Elbows in close to the body, not touching the floor. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, down dog. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, down dog. Inhaling, right leg up. Exhale, you step forward. Again, we'll come into our twist. Reaching your right arm up. See if you can feel the twist a little bit easier this time. Just keep feeling the breath all the way down to your pelvic floor. Lengthening to the crown of the head. Nice and slow as you exhale, you release. Stepping forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Bending into your knees, Utkatasana, reaching your arms up. Sink your hips down, shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, folding forward.
Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold, stepping your left leg back, coming into your high lunge, nice and strong. So you really want to anchor your right heel onto the ball of your back foot. Exhale, shoulders relaxed. Look up, maybe slight arch into your back. Again, keep squeezing your inner thighs together. Elbows should be shoulder height level. Looking up. One deep breath. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhale, you release. Plant your hands, stretching back, down dog. Inhaling, coming forward. Now, little French lesson. We're going to count to 5 to lower all the way down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly releasing. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra. Looking up, relaxing into the shoulder blades. Exhale, release. Taking your toes, stretching back, down dog. Taking a few breaths into your down dog. Just noticing what happens in the body as you go through the challenge. Maybe the mind. Notice your reactions to whatever movements, whether you can do it, not do it. Any frustration, anger, confusion. Just try to keep flowing with the breath. Inhaling, left leg up. Exhale, you step forward. Coming into your twist, inhaling, left arm up. Again, knee, shoulder nice and snug. See if you can bend into your front knee a bit more. Back leg is nice and straight. Exhale, release. Stepping forward. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Bending into your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose, reaching your arms up. Slowly as you exhale, you release. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Right leg back. So we build up onto the practice, just like we did before. Opening your arms as you exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, you release, plant your hands. We're going through Vinyasa, so stretch back, lowering all the way down, nice and slow. Knees down if you ever need to. Inhaling, cobra or up dog. Exhale, stretch back, down dog. Inhaling, right leg up. Exhale, you step forward. Coming into our twist. And then we're going to build up onto it, or you can stay there if you feel this is enough, or if you want to go further, we're moving to our Vashisthasana, side plank, so you can start to roll onto the outside edge of your back foot, reaching your right hand back. Easy version, you can bring your right foot to your hip level and keep pushing your hips up, bringing your right arm right back up. See if you can stack your right arm on top of your left. Maybe going further, you can reach your arm forward, still looking at the sky from under your armpit. So nice long line of energy from your left foot to your right hand. Nice and slowly exhale, you release. Stepping your right foot forward. Stepping all the way forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Bending into your knees, Utkatasana. Reaching your arms up. Same thing on the other side. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you fold. Left leg back. Rising up nice and strong with your high lunge. Exhale, cactus your arms, start opening. Keep bringing that left hip forward. Exhale, you release. Going through Vinyasa of your choice, nice and slow. Keep the breath going. One breath, one movement. Inhale, look up. Exhale, stretch back. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, stepping forward. Again, planting your right hand, you come into your twist. We'll go a bit further if you want. rolling onto the outside edge of your right foot, moving that left foot to your hip level, reaching back with your hand and you lift your hips, reach your left arm back up, keep lifting your hips, maybe reaching forward with your left arm. You should still be able to look at the sky from under your armpit, so you're opening into the chest, stacking your shoulders. Nice and slow you release, stepping your left foot forward, coming all the way to the top of the mat, lengthening into the spine. Exhale, you fold. Utkatasana, bending into your knees, reaching your arms up. Exhale, folding forward. So we're going to get going. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Right leg back, reaching all the way up. Exhale, cactus your arms, opening up. So we're just there for one breath. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, we're going to open up in warrior two, spinning your back heel down, opening your arms in T-shaped position. Keep bending into your front knee, flipping your front palm. Inhale, you reverse. Exhale, you release. Flipping your palms all the way to the floor, planting your right hand onto the floor. You swivel around onto the outside edge of your back foot, and maybe you find your full Vashisthasana. Left foot on top of the right. Reach your hips up, maybe reaching your left arm forward. Nice and slow, the exhale, you release, left hand to the floor, toes together, and you can go through your Vinyasa. Exhaling all the way down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, stretch back, down dog. Ooh. Bending into your knees, looking forward. You can walk or jump all the way to the top of the mat. Lengthening into the spine. Exhale, you fold. Bending into your knees. We're doing the other side. Reaching your arms up. Utkatasana. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. And left leg back. So what we did on the right, same thing. So we're just building up onto the practice. You can keep smiling, keep the breath going, opening into the chest. So notice what goes through your mind as you start going through the challenge. Slowly reaching back. So we're opening up into warrior two. Opening your arms, opening your hips, keeping the front knee bent. You flip your front palm, we reverse. Feeling the stretch on the right side. The exhale, nice and slow, windmill your arms all the way down, planting your left hand, rolling onto the outside edge of your back foot. Finding your Vashisthasana, side plank, maybe reaching your right arm forward. So keep pushing your hips up as much as possible. Nice and slow, you release. Going through your Vinyasa. Inhale, look up. Exhale, stretch back. You should be breaking a sweat already. Bending into your knees, looking forward, walking or jumping forwards. Lengthening into the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Bending into your knees, we go again. Utkatasana, reaching your arms up, maybe picking up the pace. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Stepping your right leg back. Reaching your arms up, see if you can keep the breath going. Only going as deep as you can. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, opening your arms out. Flipping your front palm, reverse. Going back to T-shaped position, straightening your front leg. We're going to parallel the feet, left toes in. Adjusting your stance. Inhaling your arms up. The exhale, you can open your arms in cactus position. Maybe looking up, slight arch into the back. Legs are still straight, and as the exhale, folding forward, bringing your hands under your shoulders, straightening your arms, lengthening into the spine, bringing your left hand under your heart in the middle, inhaling right arm up, exhale, you replace the left hand with the right hand, lifting your left arm up, keep lengthening into the spine, exhale, you release. Bending into your front knee, left toes pointing forward, swinging your hands all the way around, stepping forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Bending into your knees, Utkatasana, reaching your arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, you fold. Left side, rising up, nice and strong. Finding your stability. Cactus your arms. Just one breath here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, opening out, warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse. Back to your warrior two. Straightening your front leg, parallel your feet. Again, adjusting your stance, but keeping your feet nice and parallel. Interlacing your fingers behind your back. As you inhale, pressing your palms together, you roll your shoulders back, look up. And as you exhale, legs still straight, folding forward, and you work your crown of the head towards the floor, letting your shoulders roll forward. Keep your palms pressing as much as possible. Elbows are straight. Feeling the stretch into the inside of the legs. One more breath. As you inhale, coming up, flat back, releasing your hands onto the floor, turning to the front, stepping forward. Flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Bending into your knees, Utkatasana, reaching your arms up. We go for one more round. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold. Right leg back. Arms up. Maybe we'll go a little bit faster. Exhale, cactus your arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, opening your arms out. Reverse. Inhale, stretching your arms out. Straightening your front leg. Again, we go into parallel Prasalita Padottanasana. Now this time, hands onto your hips. Inhaling, looking up, feeling the stretch into the front of the body. As you exhale, keeping your spine nice and long. Back is flat as much as possible. You hinge at the hip level and see if you can bring the crown of the head towards the floor with your hands still on your hips. So you've got a bit of a balancing happening here between your toes and the heels. Do what you can. You don't have to go all the way down, that's fine. Nice and slow, you can release your hands onto the floor. Again, turning to the front of the room, framing your front foot, coming onto the ball of your back foot. You plant your right hands, going into Vashisthasana. Again, easy version. If you have your full version, see if you can keep holding your hips up as much as possible. Nice and slow, you're going to thread your left arm through your right armpit. See if you can reach behind you. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, again, thread it through. Three like this. Inhale, nice and stable. Exhale. Inhale, slowly releasing, planting your hands. You can go through Vinyasa. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, stretch back. Oh, one breath. We've got one more side to go. Keep going, keep smiling, enjoying the breath, the movement, bending into your knees, looking forward, walk or jump all the way to the top of the mat, lengthening into the spine. As you exhale, you fold, bending into your knees, Utkatasana, reach your arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, you fold, left leg back, rise up. Almost there, guys. Keep going. Very good. Inhale, rise up, opening out, warrior two. Keep that bend into your front knee. Reverse. You're doing fantastic. Keep going, keep the breath going. Back to your warrior two. Straightening your legs, parallel your feet. Inhale, your arms up. Exhale, see if you can fold at the hip level. Keep reaching your arms forward, extending into the spine. Placing your hands as close as far possible in front. Maybe with your fingers you can grip the floor so that you reach forward, extending the spine forward. At the same time, you want to bring your hips back. You can either stay there working your shoulders towards the floor, or if you feel you can go a bit further. Those who do tripod, if there's anyone doing tripod, to go for a little inversion. If you can bring the crown of the head to the floor, bringing your arms back 90-degree angle, and then you can maybe bring the weight of the body onto your head, and if you have the straddle press up, you can come into your tripod, headstand. A few more breaths, otherwise you keep stretching your arms forward. The trick here is to try to exit the same way that you came in with the straddle, placing your feet just about the same where they were where you're coming up. If you've been extending with your arms forward, you can lift your forehead off the floor, walking your hands back, framing your front foot, planting your left hand, you roll onto the outside edge of your back foot, Vashisthasana, side plank, keep pushing your hips up, right arm up, and as you exhale, you thread your right arm through your left shoulder, armpit, inhale, reach up, exhale, inhale, exhale, last one, inhale, reach up, exhale, you release, right hand to the floor, going through your vinyasa on the exhale, inhale, look up, exhale, stretch back. Whew. Maybe one last little trick to bring a bit of a back bend. So see if you can maybe have your hands quite spread out, maybe shortening your stance slightly so you can walk your feet in just a little bit. Inhaling, right leg up. Again, you bend your knees, stack your hips. If you can go further, keep pushing onto your right hand, maybe coming onto your left fingertips, and see if you can start moving your hand out to the side slightly. If you have your balance still, maybe you can get hold of your foot behind you. So just like we did at the start of the practice on the knees, but now this down, it's in down dog, so this is called like a scorpion down dog. So see if you can keep reaching forward with your chin, arching into your spine, kicking your foot into your hands, and slowly releasing. We take the other side, inhaling, left leg up, so everyone can do that, bending into the knee, coming onto your fingertips, right hand, that should be possible, and you start walking your hand out to the side, and if you have your balance, getting hold of your foot, so coming into a bit of a arch into the spine. So for that you want to come slightly forward onto that left hand, kicking your foot into your hand, nice and slow, you release. Whew. Then inhaling, right leg up. We just finish up with an easy pigeon pose, bringing your right knee behind your right wrist, adjusting your leg according to your knee, to your ability. So if you keep your heel under your buttocks, that's normally easier for the knee. The more you open your leg out, the harder it might be onto the knee, but the more opening you get into your hip. And you want to point your left toes, walking your left leg back so that your hips are going back and down, trying to keep your hips as level as possible. You can come with your fingertips onto the side, maybe puffing your chest out just like a proud pigeon, so you should be feeling a good stretch into your left hamstring, not hamstring, hip flexor, all the way into your belly. And since we're slowly winding down, as you exhale, you can start maybe to walk your hands forward, staying on your hands, or maybe coming onto your elbows, or if you can go a little bit further, you don't have any knee issues, maybe you can fold all the way down, forehead to the floor, extending your arms forward. A couple of breaths there, very good effort. You might be feeling the heart rate slowing down, trying to catch your breath. Ideally you haven't lost your breath, it stayed slow, soft and deep. Returning to that, if you need to, nice and slow as you inhale, you can come up and you can come onto your right hip, maybe moving your right leg more to the center, and you swing your left leg around on top. We're going into Gomukhasana legs, so you can help with your hands, or the technique maybe coming forward, placing your left knee right in front of your right,
and you sit back down. If this is too much, you can always keep your right leg straight, bottom leg straight, and we'll take a little twist, inhaling the arms up, and you can exhale out to the left, hooking your right wrist, forearm to the outside of your left knee. Again, you want to be lengthening from the bottom of the spine, the hips, all the way to the shoulders, twisting, turning your head. One more breath, lengthening on your inhale, softening as you twist on the exhale. Inhaling, coming back to center, and to have a good start to the week, we'll twist towards the right, so you probably want to have your right leg extended, taking a little disco turn to reverse, watching your knees. If you feel this is too much, you can just unwind your legs so that you find your right knee on top. Again, you can maybe adjust coming forward, wheeling your hips once your right knee is on top, feet out. Inhale your arms up to go into your twist, out to the right, taking a few breaths here, lengthening on the inhale. Again, you want to initiate the twist from your lower ribs before you go into your shoulders, and then turning your head, turning your eyes. One more breath. The inhale, you come back to center, leaning to the left, and you can swing your right leg around to the back, bringing your hands, planting your hands forward, and you can adjust for your pigeon, so adjusting your left leg according to your knee, to your ability. And you can come onto your fingertips, and you really want to be reaching back with your right leg, so you can see I'm lifting my knee off so that I can bring the hip, the knee, the whole right leg back. Then you point the toes so that you relax the leg. So this should be bringing your hips back and allow the hips to sink down towards the floor. So you will be keeping your hips nice and level to the floor as much as possible. You can start there, noticing what you feel into the knee. Maybe looking up, slight arch into the back. Try to relax into your hips. And maybe you can go further, coming slightly forward. Maybe on your elbows. Maybe even all the way down. And in the breath, soften. Start to really relax. Good effort, guys, today. Maybe already eyes are closed. Just noticing the effects of the practice. You can probably really feel the energy that is moving around the body with the breath. Try to keep your eyes closed as much as possible. As you come up, the inhale, still with your eyes closed, we're moving straight away into a Shavasana, so leaning to your left hip. You can swing your right leg around, extending both legs, maybe giving a bit of a shake to your hips. You can spread your feet mat distance, nice and slow. Rolling your spine down onto the floor. You can come into your Shavasana, full relaxing pose, extending your arms slightly apart from your body, palms facing up.
You really let your toes drop out to the side, so legs are completely relaxed, so you should be feeling a bit of a stretch into the inside of the legs, an opening of the hips as your feet relax outwards. So really let your heels be heavy, the foot would be pivoting on the heels outwards. There is no tension left in the legs. This is really important because it really helps by relaxing the legs to relax into the hips. So there's a slight external rotation into the hips, which also allows to relax the lower back. From the lower back, you can relax into the middle back. As you do the same thing with your arms, letting your thumbs drop out, completely relaxed, softening into your shoulders. Also a slight external rotation, relaxing into the shoulders allows to relax into the shoulder blades, upper back, relaxing the muscles of the neck so that you can relax also your head, the whole upper body, the mind, and just notice the sensations in the body after the activation of the breath. Some movements. Just notice how the body feels. The level of activity in the mind. And maybe how this has worked out for your intention. Practice has served your intention on the mat, just right now, and maybe even how it can be applied, how it can serve you off the mat. See if you can integrate that, whatever level that might be at, into your everyday life. If you have the time and you want to stay in Shavasana for longer, just please do so. It's beautiful after a strong practice to stay in Shavasana. Otherwise, you can start to get some movement into your toes, fingers. Maybe taking a deep inhale to stretch arms overhead, stretching the body long, pointing the toes all the way to the fingers. And then as you exhale, you can get into your knees, rolling onto one side, making cushion with your arm for your head, just taking a couple of breaths in a fetal position here, just to feel the body and the mind connecting back together before you press your hands into the earth to inhale to a comfortable sit. Bringing your hands in prayer position, Anjali Mudra in front of your heart, where you might be feeling your heartbeat, your breath should have returned to normal by now, hopefully.
Maybe just a quick last thought in regards to your intention, to the feelings of the energy. Shakti rising up to Shiva. See if you felt much energy, physical level, energetical level, maybe mental level. Noticing how keeping the breath slow, soft and deep also helps with management of emotions, the way you react to things. And again, trying to bring that into your everyday life. Tip of the thumbs to the third eye. And we bow to the divine light that surrounds us and is within us. Hari Om Tat Sat. Peace, love and light. Gently blinking your eyes open.